when Pixar was a brash upstart making computer-animated short films. If you asked someone if they could make one feature length, they would have said, what's next, a dancing baby gif that everybody shares with each other on the internet? Hey, what can I say, it was 1995. We hadn't invented dank memes yet. But then Toy Story exploded into theaters and we learned the truth. CGI films have just as many continuity errors as regular movies.
Buzz, look, an alien! Where?
Let's kick things off with a pretty obvious one. Toy Story, of course, opens with a shot tracking down Andy's bedroom wall to the old West town he has built. That bright blue wallpaper with the fluffy clouds really pops and goes straight down to the baseboard. Or does it? In the very next shot, a chair rail and white wainscoting appear over the lower half of the walls and stay there. Maybe the animators decided that the toys stood out better against a white background, but having that big of a change in the first two shots of the film, kind of makes it stand out. It's easy to get continuity errors in films. Things get bumped or moved during shooting, and when you're editing multiple takes together into one scene, those shifts can really add up. Given how many animators put their hands on a film like this, it's not surprising we see the same sorts of errors, such as this early scene where Andy opens the crib and lets his little sister out. When he's leaving the room with her though, not only is the crib suddenly closed, but the baby blanket that was inside has vanished. We see the same sort of continuity error throughout the film, such as in the scene in Sid's house where Buzz watches a TV ad for, himself? The poor guy is so wrapped up in the existential crisis of learning that he is a toy that he doesn't even realize that Sid's house is full of soda cans that move on their own, and overflowing trash cans that can appear and disappear at will. This truly is a house of horrors. Here's another little change that shows the presence of multiple animators and the kind of visual iteration that Pixar was likely doing during production. We see the general store that Andy has made out of cardboard boxes from several different angles, and lo and behold, the art he has scribbled on the sides changes between shots. Sometimes it's the windows you might expect on an Old West building, and sometimes it's some grazing cows. On top of that, those pesky boxes open and close on their own. When Andy uses RC and Woody to push the boxes under the baby crib, you can see that they've been left open. But once Andy is out of the room and the toys have come to life, you can see the boxes in the background with their flaps shut. Here's another little one that you can't unsee once you spot it. All that Sid's little sister, Hannah, really wants is a few nice, non-mutilated Frankenstein's monster toys to get dressed up with her and enjoy a perfectly lovely little tea party. Between when she's setting Buzz down and when Woody tricks her into leaving her room, however, the teapot on the table completely changes directions. Continuity goof or subtle Mrs. Potts cameo. During his escape attempts, Woody gets a lot of use out of a string of Christmas tree lights. He even tries to toss them out of a window and use them to bridge the gap between Sid and Andy's houses. This of course turns into an argument between him and the other toys about if he deserves to come back after how he treated Buzz. So there's plenty of cross-cutting between the two windows and, wouldn't you know it, the dang lights keep blinking in and out of existence on him. I'm starting to think that these Christmas lights are serious trouble. Woody uses them again to hide himself in the hallway outside of Hannah's room when he lures her away from the tea party. He leaves them coiled up there, neat as you please. But when he and Buzz leave the room again, they're nowhere to be seen. I'm starting to wonder if every object in the Toy Story universe is secretly alive, and all of the lamps and trash cans are moving when the toys aren't looking. In the secret underbelly of the Toy Story universe, where every other item is actually also alive, things don't just disappear, they also change color. During the final sequence where Buzz and Woody struggle to catch up with the moving truck, there's a handle on the back of the truck that controls the lift ramp. It's black when Woody is climbing on the truck at the beginning of the sequence, but when that big wrestler guy, apparently he's called Rocky Gibraltar, uses it to drop the lamp later on, it's suddenly bright red.
Hey, wow!
What is it?
Woody! Buzz!
Oh, great, you found them. Where were they?
Here in the car!
Okay, this one's a real blink and you'll miss it moment. When Andy exits his room right before leaving for Pizza Planet, he leaves Buzz and Woody in a heap on the desk. They're alone on the desk at first, but after a quick cut, the magic 8-ball is resting right next to Woody. It's probably not there to warn them not to go to Pizza Planet and save everyone a lot of trouble, but they wouldn't pay attention no matter what. Nobody ever listens to Cassandra. Sid is a weird, creepy kid who makes weird, creepy things, and one of the strangest is this old-fashioned alarm clock that has a baby arm where one of the bells should be. Maybe it's no surprise that it doesn't do its job right, as Sid sets it to go off at 8:25 so that he can strap a rocket to Buzz and blow him up, but it goes off at 7 instead.
Tomorrow's forecast? Sunny. Sweet dreams.
Of all the things that Woody picks up and uses during his time at Sid's house, none of them is more important than a new sense of compassion for his fellow toys. A close second is that match though. Snatching it up, putting it into his holster, our cowboy hero is just what he needs to save the day during the moving truck chase. But if it's so important, why does it repeatedly disappear and reappear during the chase scene? I'm really starting to get into this theory that everything is actually alive and also capable, I guess, of just being invisible. Speaking of things vanishing, and honestly, when are we not? How about the big smear of bug guts that gets on Buzz's helmet? It's pretty prominent when he and Woody are arguing, but a few seconds later, it's just gone. Maybe he really is from space and has that thing from sci-fi video games where blood and rain get on your HUD and get lasered off or just fade away. As a weird, jaded, nostalgic elder millennial, that early montage of Andy playing with Woody set to "You've Got a Friend in Me," oh man, just gets me in my emotions every time. But you know what I don't appreciate? Continuity problems. During the scene, Andy pops open the recliner and sends Woody flying, but the footrest is back down in the reverse shot, and that, just unforgivable. Bad movie, 0 stars. Definitely doesn't make me cry while I relive the simple wonders of my childhood. For our finale, we've got a less than obvious question about these toys. Does it matter if they're made of a single piece of plastic or not? Andy's collection of army men are obviously molded in one piece, and throughout their scenes spying on the birthday party, it's kind of a big part of the gag that they have to hop around on the rigid bases. So where does Sarge's gun go? When he's talking to Woody, he clearly has a pistol locked into one hand during certain shots, but then it goes missing in others.
You heard him. Code Red. Repeat. We are at Code Red. Recon Plan Charlie. Execute. Let's move.
And there you have it. 26 years is a long time for obsessive Pixar fans to find these little details, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. Who's to say what tiny secrets and facts we'll have found in Toy Story by the time it turns 50? Hey, maybe we'll see you then, right here on ScreenRant.